We go live to Venezuela at this hour, where the Attorney General Tarek William Saab is offering statements. Let's listen.
I could attach them to the same illegal activity that searches for undermining the Bolivarian peace and destabilizing the country, but they couldn't achieve that because the justice has been immediate and coexistence has aroused. So the first has to do with the serial of sabotages to the electrical grid that nothing has to do with incidents or accidents, common accidents and incidents that could be just attached to the Venezuelan system, but these are actions, these are criminal actions. Particularly, they have been surging in this year 2024 with reasons, with very outrageous reasons which have been escalating, and it is no coincidence because this month is the month of the electoral campaign, which is the decisive month for the elections on July 28th, where these criminal groups are just dedicated to rob, kidnap and rob materials of the electrical system of Venezuela. The the recurring states are Táchira and oil zones, and we are going to refer to a recent event in the latest days, which the public ministry has been working with the police to advance in the investigations with the appointed prosecutors. And I want to highlight that in the case of the sabotage of the electricity to Táchira and Mérida and Caracas cities were targeted by these criminal groups. With these actions, they try to destabilize, obviously, I said, the presidential elections on July 28th. After just gathering enough evidence, on July 9th, we requested to the competent courts the arrest warrants for Ricardo Alberto, and other orders of searching orders in Táchira and Mérida. They were all involved. These orders were just attached to these subjects, and Rojas was arrested in the city of Caracas, and Ricardo Albacete was arrested on July 11th in the avenue of Libertador of Caracas. There, when we just launched the arrests, we verified that these citizens had in their power lots of material, strategic material, and they belong to corporate. I mean, they belong to a strategic company of Venezuela that have these kinds of materials to pursue a basic service of electricity. And we valued all these devices at around $150,000 in the company of In the warehouses of Curimita, we found 20 electrical transformers belonging to Calafi, and they were robbed from there. 500 kilograms of wire belonging to the electrical national system. And we found 250 aluminum plates and 3,250 kilograms of aluminum, and all these were just robbed. And how can a normal person, an alleged trader or entrepreneur, can achieve this action and justify it legally why he did it, when these are just materials from corporate, and we just seized bioelectric oil, and we found nitrogen, oxygen for just keeping the electric system, and we found other materials important for this for keeping maintenance of the electric system. And the main responsible of this criminal action is, I show you there, the Albacete, alias Albacete. There we can see it on the screen. We can see him on the screen. The characteristics, the trait of this arrested person. So let's say we found all these materials attached to him, and which are exclusively from the Venezuelan state. And I would like to show a video referring to this industrial complex, which was operating illegally and secretly, and these were before, they were smuggling before 2020, and we corroborated, we confirmed this information from the employees. So we have been searching with them. We prosecutors have been searching with these employees, and this is a secretly warehouse in which they robbed electrical material to sabotage this electricity in the state of Táchira. Let's see. this reviewing video made by the Public Ministry. Approximately, we have been seeing 25 global images of these arrests. We have been launching for an investigation of penal character. It's pure evidence. There is all the material found is exclusively from the Venezuelan state property, and they couldn't be in this warehouse of this Mr. alias Albacete. There you see on the picture, we can see it on the screen, each photographs of, we can see there you see another one. It's unbelievable. It's not a regular farm. It's the style. There you see a big part of what's being used for harnessing electricity in an important state as Táchira. Let's look at another picture. And so we have lots of pictures, lots of evidence. Let's see these iron bars. Literally, we could say that they just dismantled everything, the inner part of the electrical system of the state of Táchira. I want to stand out that this company, property of Mr. Albacete, they conducted labors of just melting metals. They worked as an agriculture. Well, they have been robbing the electrical system, and they use this to as raw material, and without caring, they could inflict on the state of Táchira. We have information from the intelligence work and the preliminary investigations that the detainees have received sponsorship from the outside to sustain the campaign of the far-right Nazist wing, which uses as an alibi the elections to escalate on a terror extermination crisis as Israel has been carrying out in Gaza. Obviously, this sector, we have no doubt that by this evidence, they are just attached with the far right of Colombia, and we are not standing by this, because these recognized sectors are involved with Álvaro Uribe and Iván Duque. We have to mention that Ricardo Albacete has a dark history, has a dire record, because he is directly he has accountability for an air crash that cost the lives of many people in Colombia. Exactly 71 people died, all of a Brazilian soccer team, because he didn't want to pay for the oil, for the gas that the plane needed, and the aftermath was the claim of these 71 lives. And he is accused as well of being a puppet of a Chinese entrepreneur detained in that country, in China, for corruption. He has a dark file record, but law always arrives. That's why in this issue I want to advance examples of obsession. And why do you believe they are doing this? To create rage, to create discontent in population sectors. And I have explained this last week. This is a brutal component, totally. It is very regrettable of this hybrid world. It is part of a hybrid war, sabotaging the process, the public services of a country of Venezuela, water, electricity, to cause rage, to cause anger in the population, and blame the government for that, for those incidents. I want to mention some examples. On June 9th, we received a report of a fire in the electrical system on Avenue for Mayo Cuadro, which was put out by firefighters. On December, we received a video which we identified the subject causing this fire, and obviously the aftermath was to cause electrical failures, and we arrested Jesus Gutierrez Gonzalez on December 21st for the crime of damaging the electrical system. Another recent case was the detention of 6 people who robbed copper with 400 kilograms of weight in the electrical plant in Carabobo state. They just we seized of electrical devices. Johnny Diaz and Quero and Dixon Ramirez were among the arrested, and the subtraction of these materials affect the electrical system because it causes failures in the transmission of energy, and they were accused of robbing all this, and these are serious crimes. These are not acts of sabotage, not only that, because these are acts of conspiracy, because when you search to damage and to sabotage the electrical system nationwide, you affect water and electricity, and you cause a rage in the population affected. That's why I want to highlight that the crimes of damaging the electrical system, it is so serious that the sentence would be 20 years, because when the culprits attack primary grids, they commit serious crimes, and it is the maximum sentence would be 30 years. 20 to 30 years. This has a punitive character and a dissuasive character, because every subject who dares to do these actions, to take these actions, they will be punished, because the Venezuelan people deserve to live in peace, and they don't deserve to have these current these constant terminals. And I want to refer to another case. Yesterday, we achieved an extradition request and against Gerso Isaac Guerrero Flores, brother of the gang leader Héctor Guerrero, who is the head of an extinct criminal organization as Tren de Aragua. They collide in all transnational corporations, but from China, Tren de Aragua, they could say that Tren de Aragua could arrive to Pakistan, Washington, D.C. You can walk through the Washington, D.C. and next the Tren de Aragua gang would be there on the capital. But that's all pure lies. How can we explain all these constant lies? They want to place Venezuela in an alleged state who is on the verge, on the edge of the law, but to cause, they could never prove that Venezuela commits all these crimes. Regretfully, a Venezuelan citizen could commit a crime, but well, it is regrettable that that any incident could be just placed to the Tren de Aragua gang. After the takeover of Tocorón, this gang was just manageable. I want to show this tradition request in a real time for the Spain Kingdom to deliver us this criminal. They have been arrested, their main leaders. They are just running away like rats. These are just the most wanted criminals. And how come this Tren de Aragua gang could arrive to Moon, to Mars? It is not outstanding that the Tren de Aragua arrives to Moon. They just kidnapped ETs. They are asking for Mars, for everyone in Mars, because they just kidnapped a family of ETs. So it is very disgusting, this campaign, and they just some people just play this game, and some journalists play these games, becoming very terrorists, and they are just saying poor guys who were detained. They were found in their residence. Many devices belonging to the state of Venezuela, and employees there were witnessing that they were robbing these materials, and so they appeared as sponsors of this violent group, and so there arrived people without ethics by saying that it is well, it's a book of philosophy, and they read a poem in the square, and so that's why Albacete was detained. No, it's not like that. Albacete committed crimes, and in the United States, this person would be sentenced a life sentence. We wouldn't be surprised as the Tren de Aragua would be described as NGOs tomorrow. They could play forward. They know that we requested the extradition of the brother of Hector Nino Guerrero, and the extinct organization arrived, came from Venezuela to beyond. They travel even to the moon. I want to say, for those who don't believe, who said, as was the case of Al-Saimi, because the non-believers said, where's Al-Saimi? Is he in Libya? Is he in Qatar? And they are defending him. Where's he? Let's see the video of this tradition of Hector Guerrero's brother.
Bueno, como podemos ver,
as we could see, and I want to highlight the following: this detention is joined to others, to the Great Kex Guerrero Flores, another brother of Hector Guerrero, Nino Guerrero. And let's recall that the attack on this band was carried out in two phases. The first one consisted on the location of its leaders and the dismantling of this criminal organization. At that moment, there were 67 arrests, and in the second stage there was the takeover of Tocorón prison in 2023, and we dismantled the financial structure of the band. There were 27 seizures and 16 people were arrested, and there are 56 people with warrant arrests, and I hope that Spain
de Niño Guerrero hagan caso inmediato
that Spain
nueva
just draw attention to this nation support the request of Venezuela. The court said that the assassin of Orlando Figuera couldn't come to Venezuela because they have to take care of their human rights there. What about the rights of Orlando Figuera, who was burned alive? And we hope that these positive actions, as happened today with the extradition of Nino Guerrero's brother, occurred with these members of these bands and with any other case we just requested. There's a foreign correspondent, and Adriana Sibori from teleSUR in Uruguay will ask a question. Good afternoon, Attorney General. I just want to ask you, this intention of Albacete has that he sabotaged the electrical system of Táchira has a relation with this claim that Colombian paramilitary were attempting against the life of President Maduro. Well, it's very interesting your question. You come from Uruguay?
De Uruguay. Ah, ok, muy bien. Está bien.
Well, it's okay. Interesting your question. I think that on the investigation line that the public ministry has been carried out, we are just working on that hypothesis. We don't deny that hypothesis because it's very impressive that these subjects that issued statements on July 4th and July 6th, they changed their names several times according to a telematic meeting early in the morning with Colombian prosecutors. We agreed on that meeting that the director against the organized criminals in Venezuela and the director of the International Affairs of Colombia, of the prosecutor's office in Colombia, we just need to coordinate the investigation lines, the ongoing investigation lines. We are just formalizing the delivery of a request of assistance that implies an international cooperation in which we are going to investigate all these elements because of the claim that they have been doing. They just did. These Colombian paramilitaries denounced that three people from Venezuelan nationality, these three people showed them some pictures. These people were pictured with the opposition leaders. Among other things, they requested in exchange of a reward sabotaging the electrical national system, particularly in the southern Táchira. We cannot dismiss anything because Dion Albacete has relations with the far right, the Colombian far right, and he is related to criminal activities in Colombia. Therefore, it is an investigation line that we are going to conduct through this cooperative assistance that has been just materializing within the two states, Colombia and Venezuela. Thank you very much.
Venezuela y de inmediato retornamos a contacto los estudios.
We were live to Venezuela listening to Attorney General Tarek William Saab, who disclosed preliminary evidence regarding the ongoing investigation into the far-right terrorist attempt seeking to destabilize the peace of the country in the context of the electoral process. During his intervention, the high official revealed, among other topics, the nickname and picture of one of the members of the criminal group, aka El Albacete, and assured that the criminals plan to sabotage and steal raw materials from the national energy system and perform other actions to cause anger among the population ahead of the elections of next July 28th. This is all for the moment. Stay tuned.